Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Hi, my name is Miss Asia Davis, and I have a co-host with me today. We're going to be talking about the mid-year check-in reset that I had to do because baby came on board. All right, so if you are a postpartum mom and you homeschool, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Welcome. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about why I needed a reset. As you can see, little baby here, and she's probably looking like, what's going on? But basically, so how I decided to do my homeschool this year, this is my first year fully doing homeschool. I homeschool preschool. I have a 4-year-old, a now 4-year-old, and he is going through the preschool, and then next year he's going to be going to kindergarten. And the first quarter was just like, I was really going in, I was studying my curriculum, I was doing the standards, etc., like really setting everything up. Everything was, third trimester was my third trimester was basically in the beginning of the school year. So it was pretty amazing at the beginning. But then I kind of toward like after that 8th week of my first quarter, I started to feel myself kind of like getting that, the right before the baby's about to come, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can make it. But it was still an amazing experience. It was very structured. One thing that I changed is my schedule this time. So after the beginning of the school year, everything was more in the middle of the day. So like we're talking like free time, play, all that stuff was more in the middle, and all the structure was at the beginning. I had to change all that around when baby came. Guys, hope she's not spitting up because she'd be sitting up. So when Anastasia came, I actually had to kind of adjust. I'm like, what I did was my whole family had a whole maternity reset, right? So that means I gave my whole family 7 weeks to 8 weeks to get basically the whole trimester to kind of, just get into the rhythm of new baby, just, welcoming her, just being a family and just really taking that precious time to be together. My husband at the time had a paternal leave. So of course I was trying to get back to my normal self. After this birth, it was definitely different. Yeah, tell him, girl. So after that, I ended up just going into a schedule reset. So we had 7 weeks off, and then we came back in late December. And, it was kind of like a slow start. I really didn't do like a full on, yeah, girl, tell him. I didn't do like a full on thing. I just kind of did one thing at a time. So we really did focus on during that time reading. We read, didn't we, girl? We did a lot of reading. We did a lot of reading aloud. Yeah, tell him, girl. What else did we do, girl? Yeah. Yeah, tell him. Yeah, this is about you. You know this video is about you, girl. Pause because she is, as y'all can see, I'll be back. This is real. All right, y'all. So I am back. She was not having it. She was like, I mean, I've been in the video for a little bit, but I ain't got to be here the whole time. And I get it. So anyway, guys, my co-host is gone, which y'all saw how cute she was, though. And if I have a little bit of spit up on me, I'm sorry. It is what it is, basically. That's just motherhood. That's just what it's like in this postpartum season. It's very messy. Right? It's very messy. It's very all over the place. It's very unpredictable. So that's the reason why like I said before, we went into a 8-week maternity leave. The whole family went on maternity leave so that we could embrace our new baby, go into new routines, etc. We came back in December very lightly. All I did really was read to my kiddo. We also did like a couple of reading Bob's books and stuff like that, slowly but surely. But then coming back in January, after I had some time to plan, reset, re-look at our goals. Like I've been saying on this channel, I re-looked at our goals. I did looked over some state standards, and then I turned those into learning goals, and then I lesson plan, et cetera, and that's why I'm here now. So the main thing that we did change was our scheduling. I did notice with of course I have I have like I said, a 4-year-old son. Then I have a 2-year-old daughter, and now I have a newborn. So I have 3 under 4 right now. And with that, one thing that I've noticed is that because our goal is for them to be independent, I make sure that for sure, I start the day off with them getting themselves ready, right? So our day typically starts, well, for me, it's 6 a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. to get the house together and, quiet moment. I know how us mom times, we need our time. We have time to clean, cook, etc., get the day together. So after I'm together, whatever the case may be, they get up around 9-ish, like 8:39-ish. So during that time, we're brushing our teeth, we're putting on our clothes. I make them put on their own clothes. My 2-year-old is actually being potty trained, so we do all those things. And then they eat their breakfast, and it's just like a slow move. We don't do anything until 10 o'clock. Now, 10 o'clock, that's when we do a lot of active things because, of course, they're under 4 years old. They have a lot of energy. They're not going to listen to anything I say until they work it out. So what we do is we do like because it's kind of cold right now, we do like an indoor Danny go. We do like, if the weather permits, we'll go outside. I'll have them run or whatever. But they're literally doing anything active. Simon Says, indoor games. We do Simon Says. We do uppity up, which means keep the balloon off the floor. Anything to keep them active. And then I even turn into, because I need to get back, you know what I'm saying, and snap back after postpartum. So I even intertwine some of my own workout videos with them in the morning. It's a little bit more rigorous for them, but it's so funny to see and so cute to see them try to do the same moves that I'm trying to do for my adult fitness videos. So anything to really just get their energy up. And I know that it's time to move on, which is about an hour out, 45 minutes to an hour out when they're sitting on the couch. I'm like, hey guys, you guys during 10 to whatever, you're not sitting down, you're moving, you're jumping, you're doing whatever you want to do to get your energy out, right? If they tell you to yell on the video or the case may be, or if I'm saying, hey, scream, da da da, they're doing it, right? So then when it's time for school, you guys have no excuse to be all over the place. So of course they're going to be energized, but they're not going to be half as energized as they are without that active play in the beginning. So that's what we have changed. That's a big thing. Before I had in the middle of the day, does not work. First part of the day, they're active, they moving, we don't do nothing but move around, okay? Then after that, we do our Bible story, our prayer, and our memory verse. That is one of the most biggest points in my homeschool, is that I want to create disciples of Christ. That is what our foundations are. That is the reason why we homeschool. God put me in this position. So guess what? I'm going to put as much as I can, as he is willing, into the kids to make them disciples. Reading our Bible every day, just a quick Bible story. We do a memory verse. We're doing A through Z memory verses. So A, all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Then it's like B, believe in Lord Jesus Christ, and I shall be saved. So we're doing like one thing at a time. And then once they get the first verse, we're moving on. We're not moving on until we get the letter that we're working on of the Bible verse. So that's what we do. Then of course we pray. So sometimes it's a quick prayer. Sometimes we take turns praying together. So that's always beautiful to see them pray and for them to, talk to God on their own. It's really awesome. So then after our prayer time, then we get into our phonics time, guys. And this is where it gets real. So we've been doing Heckerty since the beginning of the school year for preschool. I got the early pre-kindergarten curriculum here. I hope you can see it. Okay. Guys, I love this book. I don't know. I haven't really heard too many other homeschool people. If you have done the Heckerty, please, maybe it's the licensed educator in me, but I just feel like this would be good for anyone. Like education in public school, outside public school, homeschool. This is the book to go to, especially for pre-kindergarten, because it focuses on oral reading, right? So they're not looking at words just yet, even though my kid does. But outside of that, for this curriculum, they're not looking at words. They're not trying to read. They're not trying to do anything. They're listening for words. They're listening for syllables. They're listening for onset and rhyme, simply the beginning sounds of a word, the ending sounds of a word. We're looking at segmenting words, starting off with a word and then segmenting them. So if you guys like for me to go into depth about this and how I use it in my classroom, I will definitely do that. But I love this curriculum. And it's so quick, guys, because as I said before in previous videos, time is of the essence, especially when they're this young. So the fact that this on average takes us about 5 to 6 minutes to finish one lesson, that we're done for the day. And the good thing about this, it's only 3 days a week. So it's not like you're doing it Monday through Friday like the typical, like, no, you're only doing this 3 days a week. And also on top of that, for us, I don't know if I mentioned this, but we only do school Monday through Thursday. Fridays are more of a buffer day. So those are the days that we go to co-op. Those are the days that we kind of apply what we learned for the week, field trips, errands, etc. Along with my schedule after that morning, of course, we were going through Heckrity. Heckrity is just amazing. If you guys want me to do a thorough look into Heckrity, how I use it from day to day, just let me know. This is an amazing curriculum that we've been using in my homeschool, and it's perfect for, honestly, I feel like it's perfect for those ages, like toddlers, like from 2 to 4, maybe even early 5-year-olds, right before anybody that needs those pre-kindergarten oral reading skills. This is the curriculum for it. All right, so then that's our main reading curriculum. Then we go into math. We actually switched up math last quarter. We mainly just focused on counting from 1 to 100, counting by ones, counting by tens, and then also just counting things and putting things into small groups by using numbers, identifying numbers, those type of things, both based on our mathematic goals. This year, we actually are doing Singapore. So I've been wanting to start Singapore, but I just knew that I probably shouldn't start it prior to postpartum. So we are doing Dimensions Math, aka Singapore Math, Dimensions Math. This is the teacher guide. They have a workbook, as you can see on there, a workbook and a textbook. So I love this because it's rigorous. It actually it does a great job of just step by step, starting off with simple concepts and then getting more and more difficult. And these are great foundational skills for any type of math. So I think that this is definitely going to be a great win. If you want me to go in depth with this, I can definitely go in depth with this as well. Just comment down below and I will make a separate video. Now, also with the math, what we do, I love the timeline of this because a typical instructional activity from this book would take about 6 to 10 minutes. On average, takes about 5 to 6 minutes, honestly. And then we just do like fun little hands-on things. It's not all just the kids are doing workbooks or anything like that. They do a lot of hands-on activities. They give you a lot of ideas on how to bring out the lessons and how to make them hands-on, engaging, and also rigorous. So I absolutely love this curriculum. Like I said, if you want it or if you want to know more about it, let me know and link down below and I can do a deep dive into what I love about this curriculum and why I chose it. And then, of course, last but not least, we do reading, writing, and arithmetic. So the writing portion, we are doing Learning Without Tears, writing section, my first school book. And we've just been going through this. This we've actually do about twice a week. And then what we do after we do this twice a week, then we actually do other things that are going to help them with their motor skills. So my son is the only one that actually does this book. My daughter, my 2-year-old, my son's 4-year-old, my 2-year-old daughter, she actually does coloring or she plays with Play-Doh or she does other fine motor skills. My son also does the same thing. So we kind of go back and forth between fine motor skills, scissor work, things like that. And then, of course, getting those fingers strong. So we do chalk, we do all sorts of things. So yes, so I love this. This is definitely getting his writing stronger, how to create the letters, etc. I definitely recommend this book in particular. Now, because it's a special year this year between maternity leave and our maternal homeschool break, etc., I am doing things a little differently. So we do all these within 1 hour block. So from 11 to 12, that's our homeschool. That's it. And these lessons range between about 4 minutes on like a quick lesson basis and maybe max 7 minutes, because past 7 is just not going to do as far as me teaching them something or as far as us doing stuff together. And the workbook practice is maybe workbook practice, drawing, writing, whatever, is about 5 minutes. We also do read alouds as well, in and out throughout the day as well, to kind of get them more, of course, listening to reading, what good reading looks like, understanding stories, things like that. And that kind of pops in and out as I put into my lesson plans. Now, last but not least, the afternoons, we do something I like to call just reading afternoon. So basically my kids, well, particularly my 4-year-old, he has to earn things at the end of the day. So such as like free play with Minecraft blocks, or maybe he wants to watch his favorite show or something like that. He has to earn that time. So what I've been doing is teacher-child to read 100 easy lessons in the afternoon. Now, we don't do this every day. We might do it maybe 2 times, 3 times a week. It just depends on what's going on. So we're slowly going through it, but I am going through the 100 easy lessons, and these lessons go by so fast now that he's older. I did try it when he was 2 years old. It was a little too much for him, so I waited, and now he's 4, and now it's perfect time for him to do it. So I can also do a deep dive on this and why I chose this. This is an afternoon practice reading book. And then I also pair it with this because there is a writing section. So each lesson, they focus on 1 or 2 letters. And here is where we learn, where we use this type of writing utensil. And he can do like a S or an M or whatever up there. And I can check it real fast. I can show him how to do it. I can even I do little fake tracings on it and have him trace the letter, etc. Just something quick, fast, to the point. And that has been amazing. Typically for the instruction, it goes by pretty fast. We probably go through this maybe in about 10 to 12 minutes. I think the longest portion is probably the writing portion, doing it 1 or 2 times, but the actual lessons take about 7 to 10 minutes, if that. And this is separate. So I love it because it gives him a mental break, and then the afternoon he's able to do more reading. Now, if he's not doing this book, then this is what we are doing on a daily basis. I'm talking weekends, etc. And I love this resource. Actually, it's not a curriculum, but it's a resource. The Bob books. Okay, I know y'all probably like, what? The Bob books. But yes, this is for my 2-year-old. I read her books to kind of see different questions and stuff like that. Love this, so she can actually feel involved. And then sometimes she'll pretend to read this, but my son goes through each and every one of these, and I love this because it actually pinpoints CVC words and common sight words, and they're able to it's just a great way to get their reading confidence up before actually learning those those CVCE words, consonant, vowel, consonant. CVC just means consonant, vowel, consonant. So we're talking about bat, cat, stuff like that. A CVCE, a good example of that would be hope, right? Date, anything with the E at the end, right? So I just love this because it gives him confidence. So far, he has honestly got to book 8. There's 12 books in a set. And he just, each and every day, he reads 1 or 2 of them, depending on how often he's read that book. So, of course, the ones that are in the beginning, like Matt and Sam, those are the names of the books. He went through those. He goes through those pretty fast because those are the first books that he learned. And, of course, when it goes, I love this book, too, because it goes through all the short vowel sounds. So it's just a great, if you want your child to really be confident about reading, to start reading on their own and start just getting a love for reading, I really, really highly recommend the Bob books. The more and more they read, the more and more they're going to get better at literacy and just being better readers. So that is what type of curriculums and things we do. We have an afternoon thing that we do hit or miss. I would say we probably do it maybe 2 or 3 times per week, where we do, teaching 100 lessons or the Bob books. But the Bob books are basically foundational. Those are some things that we do every single day. He has to read a book every single day before he can do anything. So if anything, if he doesn't do teaching 100 lessons with me, he reads these books, I go through them with him, and it has been a game changer. So yes, I did not mean for this to be like a curriculum book, but I just want to let you guys know. And again, the afternoon, it only takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes to complete all the activities. If he does the Bob book, it takes 5 minutes for him to read a book through one time himself. And of course, I help him if there's anything that he needs to maybe go over. We do that. All right. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I want to also say that as I'm going through this postpartum thing, you're probably wondering, what is my baby doing during all this time? I am wearing her, as you can see this, it probably has like a little spit of stain on or whatever, but I wear her a lot on me, and that kind of keeps her calm. It keeps her engaged, etc. I might take her out of the wrap if she's like kind of cooped up and sit her on my lap while I'm reading to the kids. She also has a swinger as well. And then we just do all sorts of different things to kind of make sure that she's engaged as well. But most of the time she's close to me in the carrier while I'm doing homeschool, because guys, it's only an hour. So she can be on this carrier. She can be in this carrier all day. Like, she loves being close to me. I can feed her in the carrier. She's breastfed, so I can feed her in the carrier, and we're just going on about our day, right? And then of course, I also do not get hung up on the time exactly. As long as there is a time frame, that is fine, because things happen. I am potty training my young one, so she has to constantly go to the potty. And of course, the baby has to get fed. The baby has to get her diaper changed, et cetera, et cetera. So I just kind of give myself grace. And of course, just as long as we get all those things done, The parameters for each and every lesson is no more than 7 minutes often because of their attention spans. So if we kind of stick within that window, everything goes so fast. And sometimes we get done before the hour's up. Sometimes we are actually at that hour, depending on the different things that happen. And not because of the instruction being so long, but just because, I'm just going about the day to day and just seeing what's going on with each of them as far as different things that might happen toward those things. But the best thing that has helped me through this journey is lesson planning, setting goals, and just being intentional and mindful. And number one, I think out of all of that is relying on Christ through everything. All right, that has been the foundation of my homeschool, of this journey. And honestly, the days that it feels hard, I just know I need to press into God more. I need to pray more. I need to make sure I am, just thinking about his word and his promises on a consistent basis. And that has honestly been the best thing to help during this transition, because at the end of the day, it's about being selfless for our kids, right? At the end of the day, what does God say? The golden rule, as many people say, love your neighbor as yourself, right? So it's not about me. It's not about what I want. No, it's about doing everything in excellence as unto God, number one. Two, making sure that his purpose and his plan is what is in the forefront of the homeschool structure. And of course, dealing with my kiddos in love. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys a quick scripture about love. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8. Love endures with patience and serenity. Love is kind and thoughtful and is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not provoked, nor overly sensitive and easily angered. It does not take into account a wrong endured. It does not rejoice at injustice, but rejoices with truth when right and truth prevail. Love bears all things, regardless of what comes, believes all things, looking for the best in each one, hopes all things, remaining steadfast during difficult times, endures all things without weakening. So yes, this is an endurance thing, right? Sometimes you feel like, what is going on? Why did I choose the homeschool? But then God reminds me, I didn't call it to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. But guess what? Lay your burdens on Christ. Lay your burdens on God, and he will provide all you need for your homeschool, right? You can plan the best. You can get the best curriculum. You can do all that. But at the end of the day, if it's not grounded in truth and in God and in his purpose for you, it's all going to be a waste and a failure, right? And we don't want that. So I just encourage every one of you, all you postpartum moms, even all you homeschool moms that are just trying to figure it all out, remember that this is a season to basically still operate in excellence, but it's okay to change things up. If something's not working in your schedule, if something's really hindering your child from really getting the best education possible, changes are good, right? And not to say just to change willy-nilly, but be strategic with your change and kind of see how everything works out. And then you will find your flow. All right. Even as an educator, as a licensed educator, when I was in the school system, I was constantly changing. It was week to week, month to month. It could be year to year, right? Give yourself grace during this time, especially my postpartum moms out there or moms going through any type of transition. Just continue to just give yourself grace. You are doing amazing. You got this. And I'm so glad to be sharing with you guys these mid check-ins. If you guys resonated with anything that I said today, or you would personally like to add on some things that maybe that resonated with you as far as curriculum, as far as schedule changes, any of that, go ahead and put it in the link down below. Thank you so much for joining me today and joining me through having my co-host here earlier. Thank you so much for this time. And I will see you guys the next time on the next video. We are going into lesson planning. We are going into using standards and turning them into learning goals and making your lesson plans the best so that your curriculum becomes a tool, not just something that you just heavily rely on, but you're able to pivot and move according to a good lesson plan. Okay, so we're going to begin into that. If you like stuff like that, if you like structure stuff, if you want to up your lesson plan game, all right, like, comment, and subscribe. That is going to be next. And I thank you guys so much for your time again. You guys have a wonderful week. Grace and peace. Bye-bye.